What's good, brothers? Welcome to another episode of the Hall of Game live stream. Again, we're going to step this up in the next month or so, make it a full podcast, a little bit more professional for you, brothers. But I definitely do appreciate you coming into the stream. You guys know that whenever we do this particular stream, this is aimed at and for professional African American men who are trying to either enter the entrepreneurship ranks or improve on job skills. We talk about all types of self-development tips. And we are here with the number one content creator for this, which is our brother, the intelligent one, the guru of it all, the young, smart guy, Gabe A. All right. And I'm going to let him introduce himself. But this is topic today. A few ways Black men can stay productive during the coronavirus. And I'm thankful that Brother Gabe came out with this particular topic because some brothers are facing some certain challenges, maybe because of what's going on in the economy. But Brother Gabe, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know what's going on with your brother.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Gabriel, Gabe A, here on YouTube, and just coming up here trying to give a little bit of game. You know, we're living in some pretty interesting times. I mean, even though Corona's is not as severe, it doesn't have a high mortality rate. It has created a lot of disruptions to business, right? Disruptions to the normal life and the normal way things are happening right now. You know, I think that even something that's even more, I guess, troublesome or worry, right? Things that we can worry about are people's irrational fears and what that results in. But today we're going to stick on the business. So again, Gabe A, background in electrical engineering, got into nuclear engineering, transitioned more into consultancy in cybersecurity, currently working as a senior consultant, pretty much making it happen in my own life, but also involved in several other things like real estate, own several properties. So want to kind of get into more of ways that brothers can be productive during these somewhat trying times, right? We have a high likelihood that this thing will blow over within the next several weeks or months or so. But I think even before that time, you don't have to just stop and wait and not do anything. I think there are things that we can do in order to still have an advantage in this world right now. So yeah.
All right. So, and guys, we will try to bring this sort of content, for a lot of Black men out there that are, again, some plans are put on pause. Even for me, right? I'm in Uganda where there are no cases of the coronavirus, but I was supposed to go back to Europe, but now my classes have been put on hold and things have been put on hold, so I'm still stuck in literally on the continent of Africa. But Gabe, let me ask you this: why did you pick this particular content strategy for today for this topic?
Well, I think that I think a couple of things, right? I think one thing that you mentioned is that travel, right? International travel is being very limited, and sometimes people have places that they need to be in order to conduct certain business. But kind of even more things, right? Organizations have switched a lot of their work to telework or working from home. Schools have closed, right? I know with Detroit Public Schools, they closed. A lot of school districts around have closed or extending their spring breaks. Universities are switching to tele, and even organizations, like I said, are just being completely remote. So I think that a lot of times when everything closes down, that can cause a lot of times our minds and our innovation and our productivity to slow down also. But I think the reason why I chose this is because it doesn't have to be the case that you slow down just because what's happening outside slows down or there's some delays, right, in what's happening. So I think that's the major motivation, so that brothers can stay active and stay productive even during these times of delay.
All right, and definitely thank you, brothers, for being here. What's up, Brother Mace, SW1, long face. So, guys, make sure that you like the video. Now, let me ask you this before we gonna get into the content. I know that some companies, I know, for example, at my institution, people are working remotely from home. I know that people that are from Google, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, Intel, AMD, people like that, social networks, Twitter, working remotely from home. Is a sign of the times that in if situations, I mean, obviously, these things typically happen in one's lifetime,
Yeah.
maybe once in one's lifetime, that somebody may experience this. But is this showing that, okay, because of this, I need to be able to develop a skill set in
Oh
some
man.
industry that I can be remote in case of times like this?
Listen, that is a beautiful lead in to the first point. And to answer your
Absolutely.
question,
I'm great at these interviews, brother.
I was I was about to say to answer the question, absolutely yes. And that's right there with that first point. Is really start to align yourself or align your skill set and what you do around work that can be done remotely, right? I think that that is the number one point that we want to start off with because even now, like I'm a prime example of this. I've been working 100% remote for years now. I haven't had to walk into an office, and this isn't to kind of stun or crap on anybody, but I think it really has allowed me to be productive at times when like I don't have any travel time into the office. I don't have to wake up and deal with individuals that or people come into my cubicles. The most I have to deal with is my wife bothering me or whatever. So but I know how to deal with that. I know how to deal with that. It's
Right, right, right.
not that big of a problem. But I don't have to suit up and boot up every single morning, and that just allows me for more time. I mean, just logically, it gives me more time to focus upon work and focus upon being productive.
Right.
So I've been like even during this time, right during the coronavirus, I've been at home watching coronavirus updates and holding holding virtual calls with my clients and
Okay.
charging through a project retainer, right? So like I've literally like I use WebEx, I use Skype for business, all these
Right.
things. I'm able to just hold these particular meetings, and we don't have to be like cammed up or anything. I just had this nice little picture here of myself and sitting here talking just as I'm talking to you, right? And I think that this is something that brothers and individuals can really start to get into. And these a lot of times are in those tech fields, in those tech careers. So I work as a consultant, right, in cybersecurity. That's one that you can very much so do remotely. I know software engineering, data science. These can all be very much so done remotely. So individuals who are developers. So I think that these are really good fields that if you're trying to align yourself more with a remote type of role, that's the number one point I want to start off with is
Okay.
if you want to be remote during these times, you don't have to stop your productivity because you'll
Okay.
already be remote. Hmm.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me shout out to brother Cortez Tucker. Thank you for being here. What up, brother Uncle Larry? Good to see you, Earl Owens. Thank you guys for the support. Let me before you get to the first point, let me ask you this, and I know I always talk about this right now because obviously as YouTubers that have built up a following, social content creators, I could pick this job up wherever I'm at. People like
Hmm.
me, Steve, BMT, we are content creators, so obviously
Right.
what we do is not effective. But what if you're a person and you have the job that you have to check into,
Hmm.
and um, this has showed you, something like, well, now my income might be hurt because let me talk about the Dallas
Yeah.
Mavericks. Who's the guy that owns the Dallas Mavericks again? I forgot the
What's his name?
guy's
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. All right,
Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks, and
Yeah.
because obviously the coronavirus, the NBA season has been put on hold or been suspended,
Hmm.
and the employees that work at I don't know if it's the Key West Arena, but whatever the Mavs play at,
Yeah.
they can't work. Obviously, right? The work has been cut,
Yes.
and he has to come out for a way to still compensate these people during a
Yep.
certain time. Some people are going to miss income altogether.
Yep.
Like even
Certain players are doing it. Certain players are helping. So I think Zion Williamson, he was saying that he'll cover all the expenses for those arena workers. I think there's a couple of other teams that
Mhm.
whose players are helping to cover that. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
Those like people who are doing those, the janitorial, maintenance, arena type of work,
Mhm.
they don't have a way of making money. So yeah,
So
concessions.
concessions.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this: if I'm a person that has and no offense, there are people that still make a lot of money, like even in Uganda, for the most
Sure.
part, 99% of people are working at some place, from the lowest
Hmm.
paid person. I mean, it's just the culture out here. But
Right.
now you're trying to transition into, you know what? I want to get like work, like, like Gabe, or work from home. Tell
Hmm.
me some of the industries, some of the, I know you talked about this before in
Yeah.
passing, but what are some of the things that I can do to get myself positioned in a field where I can use my skill sets? And, let's say I want to go and do, X, Y, and Z and things like that, and get myself into a way where I can be remote and work my
Right.
way into that position. What would you suggest to somebody like that?
I mean, I think you're a prime candidate or a prime example of it, right? YouTube
Mhm.
content creation. But you don't even
Mhm.
necessarily have to be the person in front of the camera or the person whose voice everybody is listening to. You can be like a Dima, a person who does video editing, right? A person who becomes really good at a particular software at making videos look good or making audio better, or so that can be one there, right? Being involved in some way, shape, or form in the YouTube content creation process. Those can be done anywhere in front of a computer. And I don't know if people from the chat have heard this, but this all goes into that whole idea of the gig economy, of the digital nomad, people who can pick up a computer and work from anywhere. So I think one example, definitely YouTube content creation or anywhere within that process of YouTube content creation. I think another one would probably be, and this is becoming more and more popular, and it's been popular a lot of times. It's like the Amazon drop shipping. So it's like kind of the way that it's fashioned is that individuals kind of create like an Amazon account, like an Amazon business account. And what they do is that they start to find particular products that they can buy very cheap on from China, in some type of industry. They begin to market it. They begin to order it and work with manufacturers over in China and other places where they make these cheap products, and then they begin to mass sell them on Amazon. Like I don't know of anyone. I don't know. Anytime I need something, I go on Amazon and look it up pretty much. And so a lot of individuals can kind of be that middleman to do that drop shipping and be able to gain an income off of that. And that's completely remote in front of a computer. I have a buddy I went to high school with who's actually doing that right now, and he lives in Thailand. Like he's an American citizen. He's an expat, and he just lives in Thailand, and he does Amazon drop shipping, making six figures in that plus. So he's getting U.S. currency for living in over in Thailand. Those are just two that aren't even tech, really, right? Those aren't even so much focused on technology or the fourth industrial revolution, but these are things that you can kind of pick up, do little tutorials on like Udemy or something, YouTube tutorials, and be able to pick up and run with it. So I think those two are good initial examples of things people can just pick up. O'Shea, you there? Somebody holding O'Shea back.
White man hold me back. I was talking. I'm on
Ah,
mute.
he
Thank
was
you,
holding you
brother.
back.
Brother Book Off
All right.
Ronemy. Shout out to brother Book Off Ronemy. I want to also talk
Mhm.
about this as far as the YouTube space, and social media content space.
Mhm.
One of the things that has allowed me to do is take my skills to certain governments and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I can prove to do. It's taking my skills to other channels. Being involved in the social media content spaces is something that's really good, because what people don't understand, Brother Gabe, is just like
Mhm.
you bring your own skill set to social media. And you don't forget
Mm.
what you're good at, right?
Right.
If you had any personal skills before in real life, when you come to social media, you just bring those and your experiences with you into the
Mhm.
content. And that's what
Mhm.
makes a person a very powerful content creator or not. If a person was good in marketing, person was good in technical, person was good in, it could be comedy or whatever. You bring those skills into the space. So a lot of people don't already know you already have something to work with already in this
Right.
business. And all it is a lot of times is learning the business, is learning the network, learning how to collab with people, learning how to do things, learning how it
Mhm.
works. And but there are other, like I said, so for those of you who are into the tech spaces and stuff like that, there are a lot of those good podcasts you can check out. Brother Gaby does cybersecurity. There are a lot of opportunities
Mhm.
for black men and black people in general that are interested in this economy. But shout out to Brother BMT. I took my first YouTube check and paid my people. I then began to rebrand myself and market for my team, and I gained sponsorship. It's a lot of work. Hashtag team. What's the
Mhm.
first point that you want to talk about today, brother?
So the first one was the first one I just mentioned, like switching more of your work to remote work. But I think the second one is kind of even switching even your business model to that of more of a digital infrastructure. And kind of on the foundation of that, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's so crazy because when I do consulting in my full time job, but I have real estate on the side. I own 4 houses and I rent them out, right? But I don't go to any houses. I don't do any property management. I don't do any fixing up for nothing. That's all literally digitally found. Like the foundation of it is digital. Like I'm pretty
Mhm.
much hands off other than digital. So because when I first got the houses, I would go do all my property management. I would go to the houses, do evaluations of the homes, go and fix stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going in the house, looking around, seeing what I didn't know. I would be answering calls all in the middle of the night and everything. Anytime they had issues, I would even go to the houses to collect rent. In some of the places, man, one of the houses is in the middle of the hood. So I would literally go there and collect rent. So that was more of a fit, like I physically had to be there. But now, I mean, I had a property manager do all that, and my whole pay system is digitally. So I use a digital pay system in order to even receive rent. So as I've been here, man, as I've been again remote at home,
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
get it, just getting monthly rent checks every single month, and I'm just sitting here collecting money without any human interaction. And I think
Mhm.
that that's another consideration that people should focus on. How can you digitize some of the work that you currently do? Because what's really interesting is that if you don't digitize your own business, you see that all these other organizations are doing it, right? During this coronavirus pandemic, how are they just rolling over into telework, right? How are they just rolling over into remote work? They still got to make money. So these larger businesses already have a model to digitize their work. For you as an individual, I think we should do the same. We should do the exact same. So that's my second point.
Okay, okay. Let me do this. And very, very good point. Shout out to brother Kenny Conjo. Salute brother O'Shea Gabe. I'm going to listen as I drive. Peace, everyone. Brother, salute brothers. Great information. My brother Aaron Ferris. We definitely gonna have a show tomorrow. Me and my brother Aaron,
Mhm.
or if he gets time tonight. But let me also ask you the next point that we have today.
So the last point, the third point is very interesting because YouTube, black YouTube is a wild place. There's a lot there's a lot of things that are being discussed, a lot of things that are happening, just like we were talking before everything started. I mean, there are a lot of conversations that are happening in the midst of a lot that's going on, right? I mean, we know the coronavirus pandemic is happening, but and this is no shade to anybody, but it seems like the biggest talking points are, SYSBM and passport this and passport that. I'm not saying that people aren't entitled to have their own conversations. I don't want to stop those. I'm not commenting on those, but I would like to propose that there are bigger things happening and greater things happening than those type of conversations, even within the Black community. And I wanted to kind of do like a little really quick screen share if you would allow me.
Okay, no, go ahead, brother.
Sure. Are you seeing that right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
So I don't know if you all know. So like I was saying, like a lot of things are being canceled and postponed. So this year, the conference, the South by Southwest, was canceled. Um, but there was an organization called OHUB, which stands for Opportunity Hub. It's a black-owned organization. This is them right here, and it says, "Welcome to the future of work, fourth industrial revolution, startup ecosystem, and wealth creation for everyone, everywhere." And they have a whole story where they talk about the way, and this is a black organization. This is a black-run organization, really decreasing that wealth gap by really focusing on future initiatives within the Black community in the tech space. And even if you look at, I think they had pictures of individuals who were holding it. But anyway, so this is one of the events. So South by Southwest is canceled, but OHUB, a Black run organization, decided to still roll over into a digital experience. So this is happening now, right? So it says March 13th right here. And it also is happening tomorrow. And this event is called Black and Hired, a virtual experience. So again, a lot of conversations happen in the space. A lot of things are happening, but I think there are greater things happening, such as these. So this is just a quick little summation of some of the events that's been happening today, and I've been tuning in all day. So earlier today, they had an event by Deloitte. Deloitte is one of the big four consulting firms. They had an event. The second one was Momentum, which is like a coding boot camp. They're having a collaboration event with Morehouse College. And now we talk about Morehouse College, right? What is Morehouse College known for? Black men. So, so Morehouse College is having a collaboration with this coding boot camp, and it says launch your tech career, a better way to thrive as a professional software developer. Get expert-led training in coding and soft skills prep, plus an extensive network to help you take up space in tech. And we talk about this stuff all the time, right? People say, black men are not being exposed to all these different areas. Nobody's caring, and things need to go overseas. And black people don't care about their lives and their careers. Where no, there's organizations that are dedicated to really training and building up black men here in the United States. And these are just some of the highlights, right? These are just some of the highlights from the event. Twitter put on an event where they were talking about hiring black employees, bringing more people on. And again, I've just been listening all day. Your exponential Tulsa real estate fund. I know people have ideas about that, but this was all happening today. At the same time, people are talking about SYSPM, Passport Pros, and all these things. So I think that the problem that I find here is that a lot of times these conversations are happening, and brothers are so focused in on these, at times these Black manosphere conversations that they're missing this stuff, man. That they can say, like a lot of times we can say that Black men aren't in it, but it's happening in other spaces that we aren't focusing on. So,
Okay.
I just kind of want to bring that up. And this is all virtual. Here, let me throw
Okay.
the link in here, and it's free. South by Southwest typically is like thousands of dollars to even attend. But OHub is providing this as a free service, and it's talking about Black and hired. So I just wanted to bring that up as a one. I don't know if you have some
Yeah,
comments
go
about
ahead.
that.
No, no, no,
Oh
no,
no,
no.
you go
I
ahead.
don't. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't have
wanted to
anything
drop the link
to.
first.
Yeah, go ahead and drop the link, and I just want to kind of talk about that. Shout out to you, brother. Ro.G the Outlaw. I appreciate you, brothers. Thank you for your support. I thank you so much. Brother G Star, my Zimbabwean brother from Australia, he says, what are your thoughts on data analytics as a remote job? Great question.
Yeah. I think the data analytics. So data analytics. I think I know a guy. He has a really good YouTube channel where he was actually a data scientist for one of like the FANG organizations, and FANG standing for Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and it kind of goes over all those big tech companies. He kind of gets into what that involved. A lot of it really is kind of starts off in being able to gather big amounts of data and be able to really create or find things that can draw conclusions from large sets of data, pretty much. So what they were using, he was talking about using Python programs and different coding languages in order to kind of draw these conclusions from large sets of data. And it is part of that fourth industrial revolution type of technology. So I do think it is something that's viable. So yeah, data analytics, I think it's fire, but I don't know of any remote jobs specifically for that. But I'm sure that they're out there, right? Because if you can do it just in front of a computer, I'm sure that you can produce it. So absolutely, yeah.
Access and kind of
Hmm.
go back into your point. I mean, obviously, and thank you, brother Ken E, for the 20. Boy, I appreciate you because y'all know they're gonna demonetize the stream because it's the coronavirus in the title. But
Oh, really? Oh,
oh
that's
yeah, I ain't
wild.
tripping. They demonetize all the stuff. But I just want to say this because again, let me I put a lot of people's into perspective. Brother Maurice, nigga, email me, brother. I'm engineering cannabis. You too, all you smart niggas, man. Y'all niggas ain't email me in a minute, man. What's going on here? What's going on here, boy? Shout out to brother Maurice. Let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, you have some brothers who, and I know me. There are some things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was looking forward. I mean, I worked here. I got some really good things to do. Some pro bono. I mean, obviously, some pro bono work, right? We talk about the power of internship. Shout out to Gabe
Hmm.
and Andre, who are, I'm a really big believer in internships. So I was able to get that done with somebody higher up. Thank you, Sister Faith.
Oh
But
yeah.
what I'm noticing is this: the things that I wanted to do, I'm motivated to do them.
Yeah.
Now I can't do some of those things.
Hmm.
And now I don't know when I can do some of those things. I'm just speaking
Hmm.
in not necessarily in direct
Broad
terms, but
terms.
all of us
Yeah.
have been affected because usually in America, you want to do something, you want to get something done. In the United States, if you're motivated enough, you can pretty much get moving on it very quickly.
Right.
Now, with a lot of that, and really this kind of momentum is something. Even in content creation, getting the momentum going is something. If you get the ball rolling, things get a little bit easier. How
Hmm.
do I keep myself motivated when you have this situation called coronavirus, and I
Yeah.
have some things that I wanted to do, and those things are on hold, and I can't
Yeah.
do those things, and now I'm like, okay, everything's shut down. I know, like here in Uganda, they haven't gotten a case yet of the
Right.
coronavirus. Kenya has gotten one, but here it's business as usual. Thank you, Brother Tony D. But I've
Hmm.
seen. Shout out to Phil. He showed me some things that was going on in Houston. Look at some of the stores. People are going crazy buying out hand sanitizer sold out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
People are going crazy. And now you're in this environment. How do you stay focused on the goal when you have all of these outside distractions that's going on outside? And you
Right.
have things that you want to do and you can't do them and you don't know when you're going to be able to do them.
Hmm. Man, I think that's a it's a layered question and technical kind of it's a very deep question because a lot of times people it really is dependent upon the people, right? I
Right.
mean, it's like you can't really manufacture motivation, or I can't say that, hey, my motivation to do something should be your same motivation to do it. I know I do have certain motive. So maybe I can give more of a perspective coming from my own experience. At times when I see things are slowing down around me or things that are happening around me, I
Mm-hmm.
tend to start to just focus inward and kind of really because when I was in college, man, I was at times I would go through a very difficult time because only black person in the engineering program and electrical engineering program and
Mm-hmm.
not at times not really doing the best and kind of feeling down and a lot of times I just wasn't able to see I guess the light on the other side of the
Mm-hmm.
tunnel. So what I
Mm-hmm.
would do is really so I would get counseling sessions at times, right? I mean, utilize some of that healthcare insurance. I mean, go get therapy at times. And one thing that I got from one of those therapy sessions or
Mm-hmm.
counseling sessions was that I needed to look to be able to see beyond my current situation. Right, the
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus is happening. Everybody's shut down. Organizations are closed down. All that, sure. But what is my ultimate goal in life? Right. If I can see more of my ultimate goal in life, if I can see those beams, those glimmers of success or where I desire to be, that
Mm-hmm.
really has helped me personally be able to move forward. And I tend to start to then focus inward and kind of go into the shed, right? I mean, like a like a like someone who's cooking some gumbo or something, right? I'm just in the kitchen cooking up by myself, right? I don't need anybody else around. I know all my ingredients. I know what I need to put into the pot in order for it to taste right, in order for it to have a good result. So I began to focus inward and
Mm-hmm.
really start to fashion something that as soon as I'm able to be let free, then boom, I'm just like, it's just out there, and then people,
Mm-hmm.
and then people at times can be amazed. So I would say, brothers, like focus inward, right? Start to plan for
Mm-hmm.
what is the case after what's happening currently. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told you, I actually spoke at a conference early March, like right before the coronavirus started to go down. It
Mm-hmm.
was down in Florida. And man, I got a really good reception. And I spent so much time on that presentation and kind of
Mm-hmm.
practicing and just kind of going over it. And like, so this particular conference happens all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the conference chairs, after I had spoke, well, two things happened. One is that one of the conference chairs, after I spoke, he came down. He started to talk to me. He was saying, yeah, he thought I did a really good job because a lot at times you don't know how you really did, especially at these engineering conferences. And he said, hey, we do these conferences four times a year, and I just want to let you know if you want to do any other conference, just let me know. And he said, hey, we do one in Munich, and Munich in June is beautiful. I mean, I was like, well, shoot. Well, you
In
like,
Germany, right?
yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. I've
well,
been I've
I
been to
never
Munich
been to
before,
Munich
man. I,
before.
I did a
And
vlog from Munich before actually on my channel.
oh
It's
man,
Munich off the chain, man.
ab-
It ain't cheap, but
facts.
yeah, it's a
And
good
this is
time.
literally walking off the stage, the chair. This is the person that decides. This is a
Hmm.
really kind of intense type of review process before anybody can speak. And he just said,
Hmm.
hey, yo, just let me know what's up. Right. And then the number two thing that happened, I stepped off
Hmm.
stage and it was another, let me tell you, it's a brother that owns
Hmm.
his own consulting firm. Right.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I sat down. So after I talked to the conference chair, I sat down and this brother came over. He passed me his card. He's probably like in his 50s or so. He passed me his
Hmm.
card and he said, I want you to work for me. I want you to work for me. I'm like, what? like I already got a job. He was like, I'm gonna try to make it better. So like that evening, we met in the lobby that evening and we started to have a conversation. And he literally presented a job for me, right there. I mean, this job probably he was saying somewhere, and I don't focus so much on numbers, but he was saying somewhere around like that 180K to start off with. He said that relocation, anything, right? Pretty much just laying it all, training and travel and everything. A brother has
Hmm.
his own consulting firm, literally stepped off the stage, right? And into a job opportunity. Now, I don't think I'm necessarily going to take it. I like my current situation. It's a little bit better than that. But I mean, this all came from going in the lab,
Hmm.
going to the board,
Hmm.
cooking up in the kitchen,
Hmm.
presenting, and then stepping off the stage and now had another opportunity to speak and also a job opportunity if I wanted it. So I would say, brother, start to cook in the kitchen right now, right?
Oh.
Start to devise what that thing is, what you
Hmm.
desire to do, and
Hmm.
then present it to the world. And then look what
Hmm.
happens. But yeah, go ahead.
And I hope that you guys heard what the brother was saying, right? And again, I know that, and I'll say this, and I know that we have been getting a really good response because think about it, 180 people, 200, sometimes we have more than 300 on streams like this. And I actually want to do another one tomorrow, or I'll send an email. I think during times like this, if
Hmm.
we can, the guys are busy, but I probably think I owe it to the audience to try to get more of these streams in, more of these shows in, because I know a lot of brothers on a downtime, so we can probably reach a lot of them here. But I just wanted to hear what you guys all what he says. Putting yourself out there. Even Steve talks about it in his own way, but in a way of dating. We
Hmm.
want to get black men, and one of the things we always talk about is put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there to be seen. A lot of brothers have a lot of skill, a lot of talent, but are you giving yourself the opportunity to get recognized? And look at what the brother's talking about. He spent a lot of time preparing for the speech. He's preparing for the opportunity. He knows that the opportunity is there, but he's
Hmm.
preparing for it. And now that he's got it, um, this is where we're at, right?
Right.
So hold on one second. Let me go ahead and get this person out of my chat. All right, and block them. Thank you, brother. Prophet of Thought Series. So be ready for the opportunity, brothers. And I really do appreciate a lot of you brothers coming on, and but always be focused on the things that you're trying to do, and
Hmm.
because you are the one that obviously your opportunity can come. Coronavirus is not gonna always be here, so we
Yep.
want to, and I thank you for sharing that information, brother, so that a lot of brothers can really see, okay, wow, walking off the stage and get a
Yep.
job offer better than how did you feel? Even though you might not take it, but how did you feel about that
Man,
opportunity?
man, I just love that. You Because at times you can hear so much, especially in these YouTube spaces, about how brothers don't look out for brothers, or how brothers aren't there for brothers, or how brothers aren't in very powerful positions at times, right? But to see something diametrically in opposition to those talking points in real life, it's something that really brings a lot of pride to say, listen, we out here. We
Right,
are out here making it
right,
happen, doing our thing. Even this particular event, Momentum, a very reputable software engineering, software coding bootcamp organization, working with Morehouse, black men to really
right,
bring them into tech careers. I mean, these things bring joy to my heart, man. And it's
right.
just like I don't know, man. I just love to see black men doing well. And I just
Right.
really don't want that the narrative that black men aren't out here doing anything. I don't want that narrative to be prevalent. I want the
Mhm.
narrative to say that we are out here. Y'all
Right.
just a lot of times don't see us.
Right.
Y'all just
Right.
don't see us a lot of times.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
mhm,
Right. And a lot of times what we don't do is we don't let people know when we out there that we are out there. It's also
right,
our responsibility to bring light into, because we let people know when we talking about selling drugs or rapping or
true,
playing football, we let everybody know that,
yeah,
and we don't let everybody know the other stuff. So I heard it only takes
yeah,
one idea and bam. Thank you, brother Josh. Quick. Let me ask you this. The
hmm
downtime.
yeah,
One of the things for me, like when I decided to get into the professional school, and I got fired. First time I got fired from a job, I had a lot of time. I use that time to plan out my next move. And
hmm
a lot of times, a lot of brothers don't understand when you have a lot of free time, this is when you're able to plan your next big life decision or to
yes.
really think it out and strategize. How can brothers use this time if they have it because of the situation that we're in? How can they use this time to strategize their next move, be serious about what they're going to do, and spend time
Yeah.
on developing that plan, that idea that might take them to the next level?
I mean, you can reach out to brothers right now. I mean, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to so many different people who are actually in these digital spaces to try to, like, I think Kevin Samuel speaks about this, having a mentor or having someone that you can consult with in order to kind of give you, kind of bridge your gap of understanding, kind of do a bit of hand holding for you to be able to kind of get into those fields. So reach out on LinkedIn, reach out on Facebook, reach out on YouTube, reach out in a lot of different spaces in order to kind of really bridge that gap. Because I know right now, I mean, people talking to me all the time, especially in work, just trying to collaborate, just kind of have some type of conversations. People are reaching out for just like human interaction because a lot of times a lot of people are just in their houses just kind of chilling. So I would say definitely to reach out. And I do have a story. People got a lot to say about Detroit. And I actually know this brother. Like this brother comes from Detroit. Actually went to my high school some years before me, but it's actually a program called Code 313, right? And this is a brother who was doing what was he doing? He was doing like digital marketing, focusing on digital marketing, but now he owns or is leading a STEM organization, an accredited STEM organization, a nonprofit who is partnered with Microsoft in the city of Detroit. And you know what they offer? They offer free, dedicated to teaching and inspiring youth ages 7 to 17 to code. And they offer free classes, right, to these kids in the city of Detroit. And let me show you this here. This is the executive director, Bartell Welch. This is the gentleman. So he's an active front end developer, designer, architect. I mean, for years, for over 20 years, he's been doing this. So now he's the executive director for this organization. Now they have a director here, black folk here, another black folk here, some more black folk here, another black folk here. This is a nonprofit organization dedicated to teaching the children of Detroit 7 to 17, partnered with Microsoft Corporation. I mean, and people got so much bad things to say about black folk, so much to say about us that we ain't doing nothing, we ain't out here. This is a black folk run organization partnered with one of the largest tech companies in the world. Where is the hate? How can you hate on that? And I'm sure there was some cooking up in the kitchen for this nonprofit organization. There had to be something presented. There had to be several presentations to
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft Corporation in order to be able to gain this type of partnership and this type of program to be able to provide this service to the city of Detroit. So I would say reach out to individuals like this. Reach out to individuals who are actually doing it during these down times and really try to get some game and really even try to maybe even do like an apprenticeship or some type of internship with the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out, be bold, put yourself out there, just like you were saying, O'Shea.
Right, right, and we definitely want brothers to do that. Shout out to brother D Anderson, always supporting. Good to see that brother for the $5 super chat. I really thank all you brothers. Rich Turner, brother, I emailed you. Me and this brother Rich Turner is another successful brother that makes $100,000 a year or more, and he has
So,
a story that he wants to tell. I definitely, brother, we definitely gonna do that tomorrow, or even
I'm
just
tuning
email me.
into
I
that one.
emailed you, but I haven't got a response. But definitely, I want to say this. I really want to start to bring. I always talk about that, but now since a lot of us have lost some downtime, I really want to get this
Mhm.
sort of content coming back into the space because really this is why I'm on Black YouTube. I mean, I know I talk a lot of trash and I do a lot of entertaining and things like that, but this is one of my passions. My passions really is to bring around talented Black men, African American men. I don't care where you're from. Say we have some of our brothers from Nigeria. We have brothers that are from other places. My goal is to bring talented Black men together to give Black
Mhm.
men, besides the entertainment and some of the fuckery that I got going on, but to bring brothers together to get solutions, right? And we want brothers to benefit off of the intelligence and the abilities of other smart people. So basically, we definitely want to do that. We're going to continue to do that and continue to push the conversation forward. Shout out to Brother Wrench Turner. Hey, Bay Faye, thank you so much. And we definitely going to bring Brother Wrench on this. And I'm going to tell you this. Brother Wrench Turner is a successful guy, right?
Mhm.
He's not asking for anything to tell his story.
Right.
But like most brothers, man, they just want to come on and talk about, hey, man, this is how I did. I want to see you do it.
Mhm.
And you'd be
And you know
surprised
how
how many.
impactful that is? That's
It's
impactful.
very impactful. It's so
Mhm.
many Black men that just want to come on and help other brothers get into a different space or to have a
Right.
better quality of life or to see some things. Brother Engineer in Canada's a guy that has if I'm not mistaken, he has a bachelor's in electrical engineering and a master's in mechanical engineering, something like that.
He has a
And
master's in electrical. I'm pretty sure.
oh,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is
Mhm.
another brother man went to University of New Mexico. He don't have to help nobody do nothing. He
Mhm.
just wants to see Black men be successful.
Right.
We know brothers are out there. We want more brothers in tech startups building AI and blockchain, especially blockchain. These Black men are out here. They
Mhm.
just want to. They just want to be able to contribute, right?
Yeah.
So, again, brother, people like Brother Maurice, brothers like you, I'm really thankful, man.
Mhm.
You guys are actually the top. I hate to say this, people might get offended. You guys are the top of our echelon, man, as far as the content. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got guys entertained. But when I go to you guys, Andre Hatchett, guys like you, the Invest Doc, you guys are the top of our food chain, bro. And you
Mhm.
guys are our brightest people. It's the truth.
Oh, yeah. And I think we got a lot of it in our community, man. And I just don't think that it's, I'm not saying that it's never highlighted. I just think that it's not highlighted enough. I think our mistakes in our community are highlighted more than
Mm,
our successes. I mean, look, a Black man executive director, right, for a tech company, nonprofit that contributes to one of the worst educational wise cities in the nation.
right.
I mean, how much more powerful can you get? How much more impactful in the Black community can you get?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I just think we're yeah, man. I think we're greater than what we give ourselves credit for,
Right.
and we're doing more than what we give ourselves credit for. This dominated thing. Tell tell this brother he being dominated. Tell him. Tell him.
Right.
Tell him
Go
he
ahead.
being
Tell the truth.
dominated. Hmm?
Tell the truth.
All right. So
Tell the truth. Let
I'm
me
just
give a shout out
saying.
to the brother, Mr. Kojo. Continue the good work coming from a cloud engineer.
Hey,
Wow, and
out is
again,
dope.
a lot of good brothers, and hopefully we're bringing a lot of brothers are being helped by this stream, and a lot of brothers are doing some great things. I know brother Mike V was recently in Rwanda. I think it was like I missed him by just a few days, and
Hmm.
he's talking about a lot of opportunities. So yeah, a lot of brothers are moving and doing some great things, and I have some things to knock out. Me and Sativ, my basically my editor here, and I don't
Hmm.
know if the internet will allow us to suffice a whole interview like pre-recorded and then
Yeah.
edit it, but we're going to try to do the best that we can. Let me ask you this. Let me say for guys who don't have a question for Gabe, and we're
Hmm.
going to promote Gabe's YouTube channel. But brother Gabe, if you want to ask for any questions, shout out to brother Maurice. Anybody that has questions and you want to, because Gabe is our like I just set up the podcast now. Gabe is the one with the brains here.
Nah,
If
man,
you
you
have,
got them too.
if you guys have questions, please let ask the questions. And brother Gabe, like I said, he's a smart guy. He's young, so he can tell y'all what you need to do. So right now we'll take
Yeah.
questions for anybody that have questions or things for brother Gabe. Just put it down there and we'll ask them.
Hmm. I guess as those questions are coming in, I also had another link up here. I was just kind of reminiscing on my childhood, man. While I was
Mm-hmm.
in like middle school and high school, I was actually a part of this program. It's called the Wayne State University Math Corps. So like it was literally like a summer math program in the city of Detroit
Okay.
that we pretty much went there like it was a math summer camp, and we were learning, algebra, calculus, geometry, like you name it, during the summer for the next grade. I like to encourage people to check this out because this really was a big motivator. And I remember this dude, Dante Wilson. Man, these dudes were awesome. Like they would teach us, and the high school students will be teaching the middle school students kind of basic math foundations. And those
Mm-hmm.
high school students were actually paid while they were a part of the program. So they were what you call TAs, teaching assistants, and then we had college students. But this is all black folk pretty much that were within this program. And this really helped to push my desire to go into engineering, my desire to go into technology. I mean, and this started in 1991. So, growing up in the 90s, man, it was just I don't yeah, I think that we have crumbs of success, crumbs or building blocks of success for black people in a lot of different places. And again, we just don't highlight it. We don't talk about it. So
Mm-hmm.
for sure. You
Okay.
see any
All right.
questions coming in?
Let me see. Let me see. And how did you like that program? Was you in it for one? Was it
Man, I
one?
was
What
in
up, brother
that
Pedro?
thing.
IT?
I
What'd
was in
you
that program from sixth grade all the way to 11th grade. And then my 12th grade year, that's
say?
when I had that internship with Ford Motor Company. So I was in it
Okay.
pretty much a good amount of like all of high school and pretty much the majority of middle school. Yeah.
Okay. Brother engineer, I'm gonna go to your question, but brother Pedro IT, that's a brother from Canada. If guys
Dope.
want some help, I have access to Cisco Learning Library for free certification. How good
Mm.
is Cisco? Is that good?
Cisco is like industry leaders for networking certification. So networking, a lot of cybersecurity certifications, automation certifications. They just did a big rebranding and a remodeling of their certification exams. So they're like industry known, right? So those are really good resources.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So guys, pay brother Pedro if you want to put your, and don't be blowing up brother Pedro all night long on bullshit now. You can
Facts.
cuss your ass out. Okay, let me go ahead and talk to let's see here for I believe engineering cannabis. Gabe, where do you see cybersecurity in the future, especially with automation?
Man, I'm actually working on some projects right now. So my organization actually had bought a company called Veritin, which is an automated pen testing type of software. So pretty much what you do is that you install, I guess, Veritin like an agent on one side in one area of a network, and you install another agent in the other area of the network. And what you say is that attack one another, right? So right there with that automation, you're allowed to start to really kind of test a lot of the security mechanisms within the system. So I think the future of cybersecurity is automation. You still need people in the loop, but I do think that the future of cybersecurity is in automation. Yeah. His brother Brandon Scales, like he has a question too. How can a mechanical engineer with only 1 or 2 years experience get into the ICS field? I'm studying for a few certs now. So ICS stands for Industrial Control Systems. I actually have a buddy that works in a manufacturing environment. So I would say, like I think somebody mentioned earlier that they're getting an internship in they're having an internship at Marathon. So I would say probably try to get into a industrial type of environment. So oil and gas, nuclear, automotive. I mean, you name it, any of those type of industrial type of environments to get kind of like a feel what that looks like, to get a feel of some of that. So like even control engineering, where you're
Mhm.
pretty much programming PLCs, programmable logic controllers, or some working somewhere with some type of that type of software in that type of industrial environment. I think that's a lot of times a really good start for getting to the industrial control system field. So
All
I don't know
right.
what
All
search
right.
you're studying for, but yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me what that meant again.
Brother
Tell me
Chris
what that
Wilson.
meant.
Hey,
Okay.
what's good? I went to Wayne State. The D in the building.
Wayne State is dope. Wayne State is dope. I used to be on that campus all day, all night long.
Yeah, yeah. They got a got a medical school and everything too, right? So
Absolutely. Yeah, my mom went to Wayne State for her master's in nursing. They have a really good nursing program. Yep.
okay.
Just like Rich Turner mentioned, if you're in manufacturing, look at Allen Bradley Control Systems, PLC, RS Logic, Siemens, Schneider Electric, Eaton, like you name it. Like those are kind of like those, and they have automation software too. Man, I can go on and on and on about this stuff. But yeah, absolutely. If you're in manufacturing, start to look at some of those big Rockwell Collins, like you get into a lot of those different technologies, and that really helps you in that industrial environment. Yep.
Man, I'm over here lost as hell. I don't know what the hell you niggas are talking about. I'm
I
like,
was just
well,
about to ask you to say it back to me, but
yeah.
here we
I'm
go.
like,
Yeah.
woo. You talk
So
about
is
feeling
so is
dumb, nigga.
things.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's
somebody
not even
understand what you
super
talking about though.
technical. OJ, let me break it down to you just quickly. I'm gonna give you
Yeah, break it
two
down to me,
sentences.
player.
A lot of times, so what we use a lot of times to move larger devices or larger, I guess, equipment like
Uh-huh.
pumps, like push water through pumps or move a large bridge up and down. We
Right.
utilize things called PLCs, programmable logic controllers, which is kind
Okay.
of lower level code, which pretty much is like a one or a zero, or it pretty much just says it goes up, it goes down, it goes in, it goes out. You push water in or you push water out, and you can control these things at certain rates. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
using like the stuff that you're using to code YouTube or anything. You're using like industrial, and just like what Houston Phenom 55 says, SCADA systems, supervisory control and data acquisition systems. So it's just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like older, somewhat older technology, but it's used in everyday purposes. Like it's used in vehicles, it's used in like bridges, it's used in all types of
Mm-hmm.
plants. So that's like that
Mm-hmm.
industrial control system type of thing.
Okay.
Did that make
Another
a little bit of
Michigan.
sense? Machine
Yeah, it makes a
code.
lot of
Yeah.
sense. Now that you
Okay, cool.
shout out to another Michigander. I know Fair State is definitely in Michigan.
Oh, dope.
Uh, you
Dope.
know,
Yeah.
shout out to brother Tangeray. Tangeray, don't you start no shit now, nigga. Ain't nobody got time for you. Gabe,
I don't
you
know who
want to
that
fight,
is.
brother? He actually wants to come on the Hall of Games. He is actually a very successful guy. I think the brother makes like $500,000 a year somewhere. He's always trolling me.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's cute.
definitely gotta let. Yeah, he's very very successful guy. He's I think somewhere he's in Indonesia or somewhere. He do
Mm-hmm.
his thing. Shout out to my
That's
sister,
nice.
the African superstar, out there in London right now.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you. Yeah, I'm lost in the conversation. And it's funny because you know what? A lot of these guys are in my regular content,
Yeah.
and until you come on here and talk all of this unknown foreign language and coding or whatever it is,
Yeah.
here come all of these niggas that know all of this shit. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, damn, I thought that nigga was dumb or something. Like, but
Yeah.
these niggas like don't. I'm like, man, the way you talking don't even match your goddamn profile picture, nigga. Like, how do you know about this? I'm over here being racist in the motherfucker. What?
See, and
How,
that's see,
nigga, how do you know about this shit, nigga?
and isn't that the thing, right? It's like brothers ain't doing this, brothers getting owned, brothers getting dominated,
Yeah.
and as
Oh
soon as
no.
something come up, all these brothers come out the woodworks. We're
Yeah.
here, we're
Yeah.
there,
They're there. They're definitely there.
we're all in these industries. So like,
Yeah.
I just don't think people are really being balanced in their opinions of how black men are out here moving. So
Oh yeah. Oh, there might. I mean, if we do the transportation streams, you'll get a whole bunch of dudes
hmm
that are doing that, and
yep,
a lot of times I try not to do things that we'll consider us to be be considered elitist because I've we've been called that too, but
sure,
the thing about it is that you have that a lot of black men are privy to this, and they have
hmm
worked their way into getting this knowledge. But my brother Tony D, Uncle Tony, he be getting his money on. So it's just amazing to know that wow, just from YouTube that all of these guys are here, and then the guys are really excellent at content creation and can do things. Another
yeah,
brother, Third Degree Burns, he says I work for a tech company also, and we do special effects for Disney and
oh,
Universal
dope,
NBC. Okay,
dope. I
wow,
was just
all right.
down there in Orlando, right there on the Disney area. Man, I had a buddy who I used to work with. He actually used to work with me at the nuclear plant. He worked for Disney now. He worked with Disney, imagination or something. Because they
Okay.
have. So let me tell you about one little thing. Disney has these vehicles, these unmanned vehicles that people drive
Mm-hmm.
all like throughout the particular campus, and
Mm-hmm.
these things are used to drive remotely. So he works on those type of systems, which is really
Mm-hmm.
cool,
Mm-hmm.
which is extremely cool. So they're into a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Wow. Tony D.
petroleum engineer. Yep, dope. See, let me tell you. Oh, we work for Disney. Awesome, awesome.
All right. All right. So I work for Disney. So man, I thought you niggas were selling drugs, man.
It's crazy.
Some of you niggas come up here looking like the weed, man, and niggas got a PhD in astrophysics from Harvard, nigga. You niggas in here
Mhm.
playing a role. Like niggas, you went to Yale. Yale what? Yale Street, motherfucker.
I'm about
So
to jump off
yeah.
OC in a minute. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah,
there
yeah.
are any
No.
other questions.
Can you ask one last question? For the
Mhm.
brother Church Boy, having technical background, I have a question. In the tech field, is it better to have certifications or a degree?
I think it's best to have both. I wouldn't even choose one over the other. I think having both really kind of sets you apart and kind of
Mm-hmm.
really makes you very competitive in the market. So I would say both.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so listen, man, brother Gabe got to go. He tried talking to you niggas. Brother Gabe, you want to go ahead and shout out your YouTube page, brother, so that we can get some subscribers for you before you go?
Let me do. Let me. I gotta find it. Hold on one second.
Lord have mercy.
You know me. I don't really.
Mm, mm.
I gotta.
Where is
You know what I'm
Twinkie
gonna
Clark
do?
on the organ when you need her? I'm trying to tell you.
Let me do this. Let me do this on the
You
next.
go ahead and do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm gonna have a new podcast before the
Again?
next hall before the next Hall of Game
The new channel,
before
new
the next
podcast.
Hall of Game because I haven't added anything since December. I'm gonna have a new podcast before then, and before the next Hall of Game, I'm gonna have something for the brothers, something new because I don't want to just keep giving y'all old content. So let me promote it then when I get
Okay,
something
okay,
new.
okay.
That's cool.
That's cool. All
Okay.
right, and guys, I do thank all of you for being here. I'll try to do something similar, maybe as a panel or something. I don't know if Gabe will hop on there, but tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to, since we have some of you niggas again can't go to work tomorrow. I'm gonna
hmm
try to. Now I do got some bullshit tonight. You know, on my other channel now. After we do one of these, you know what I got coming down the pipe.
Balance,
It's
right?
going.
It's
Yeah, I
balance. You
got.
got to balance
I
it
know
out.
what you niggas need tonight. I know what y'all niggas are looking for. I know what Tony D is looking for. I know what African Superstar, Serious Geek. I know even you niggas want this work tonight. So we're gonna give you that after this, but we had to get this in first. Brother
hmm
Wrench Turner. I wish brothers knew that the same focus and grit that make us dominant on the field could be used the same way to make them rich. Thank you so much.
hmm
But
Yeah,
we
that's a
will be
whole
talking
nother
about
joint within itself.
we will be talking about some bullshit going on to today. And I do thank you guys. Brother Gabe, last words.
Man, brother, it's just this is your opportunity. This is an opportunity to really focus in, and really this time of focus can really kind of fashion what it's going to look like on the other side of the coronavirus, right? So I would just say, yeah, just buckle down and focus, man, and just reach out to brothers if you need some motivation. Reach out to brothers already doing it. So that's all I
All
gotta say.
right. And shout out to our brothers, man. Thank you, brother Marlon Brown. Shout out to our brothers out there in the UK. A lot of our brothers out in the
hmm
UK. We got a lot of support out there. You know, a
Dope.
lot of brothers that are supporting from other parts of Europe, parts of we have a big support coming from the UK. So I want to thank all the brothers in the UK. Thank you for the brothers out there. And guys, keep helping us. My brother out in New Jersey, his grandfather used to be actually my assistant pastor at our church. So shout out to him.
Oh, dope.
So guys, I'm trying to get him on here one day too. So keep giving us the information, guys. Keep emailing us
hmm
so we can keep building brothers into this. And we make he's in DC now. Okay, my bad. So we can
Okay.
basically make Gabe do a damn podcast. Peace out, brother.
All right, man. I'll see everybody later. Thanks for having me, O'Shea.
Peace.